Hi, good evening. Today is February 22nd, 2019. Today is Friday, February 22nd, 2019, 3:09 p.m. Central Time Zone. Hi, I just wanted you to know that these people for the longest thought they were going to get away with it. Why are you all cashing people checks and the government is seeing that these individuals never receive their checks? They're looking at the way they're living, the things that's going on in their life. People don't have vehicles. They're not living according to the money that's supposed to be the money that is theirs. Things are not right. Things are not right. These people, some of them, people are able to have bank accounts. They're able to do these things themselves, and you all fucked over them. Bottom line, you stole checks, insurance checks, work checks. You all stole government checks, stuff that came from the state of Illinois. Whether it was through Department of Human Services, which doctors and everybody else, doctors and nurses or whoever they being, you have to have all the information in the system in order for the state to disperse a check to them, which is also governed by different entities what's inside the government. Just because they disperse the check from the state, yes, true and accurate goes to that physician. Okay, but there's other entities in the government that double checks everything to make sure that that doctor got paid according to what they did and so forth like that. They check on what prescriptions they write. They also go and correlate with the pharmaceuticals, because when the pharmaceutical companies send their information in so they can get their money, make sure their money is correct for its debits and credits and employees pay as well, they have to show where the medication was dispersed to, the time it was dispersed, just in case such as people like that I had complaints about people stealing their medication. It can be found, okay? Also, all this time, all these pharmaceutical companies do have cameras. They have to have audio and video for the precautionary of medication. Medication is drugs. Medication is drugs. That's why doctors, okay, have these numbers they have to use in order to write scripts, in order to do what they have to do, okay? Bottom line. And certain people, y'all sitting up here, certain people can't even have certain medications, such as I. Okay, that's how we call a lot of people up too, using my information. Then another thing, people was cashing the people insurance checks. Let's talk about insurance checks. Most people get insurance checks as people are fighting. I'm talking about real fighting. And other people started mess with other people, knowing that they the ones that did those other people wrong, and that check initially belonged to that person. Or people are putting checks in other people's names, cashing them. That other individual might not even know a check came for them, and they cash those people check and acting like they going to buy them this and lying and saying they put the money in their account when a government is watching them. Those people don't have any of those things they supposed to have. They're coming in, you got utility, whatever, they looking at utility bills, they looking at all these sorts of things. This person done got this check for over $25,000, and you put that person check in your account, and then get them a thing. Then not only when you withdrew the money from the bank, you claim you gave it to that person, you went to the store, you went to the mall, you went to fill up your gas tank with the cash money. All gas stations that had cameras for years. I used to work at a gas station. Y'all know I used to work at Clark Gas Station, also St. Louis Petroleum. When it was Clark Gas Station, guess what? We had cameras. Yes, I was assistant manager because, you know what? We already had a manager, the white man that used to be there. So, make a long story short, that's what I'm telling you all. That's what I'm telling you all. So it's not the fact of people telling on you. You're doing yourself in. And then you all try to play it off. Then y'all want to go pick up that person, take them with you, all while you're riding. You telling that person this, that, and the other. You get to the store with them. You might buy them one little thing and act like, like that's all they wanted or something. Giggle and laugh and walk off. Like, oh, well, you want to fake buy them something to eat or something. Tell them they go sit in the food court or whatever, and you finna go to the bathroom or something. Then you go buy you something else and act like you seen somebody else or pass the money to somebody else. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Let's talk about these people in St. Clair County, Illinois. St. Clair County consists of many numerous cities. We talking about East St. Louis. We're talking about Washington Park. We're talking about Caseyville. We're talking about DuPont. We're talking about Belleville, Swansea, Sauget, Illinois, Cahokia, Illinois, East Carondelet. We're talking about numerous places within these smaller towns. Let's go far as up to Smithton, Illinois. Okay. Now, Collinsville, that's Madison County. Brooklyn, Madison County. Venice, Madison County. You know, it's just Eagle Park and all these other places. All these little places in Madison County area. They consist of small little. They're not even considered towns. They're really are less than a village, because they're all those areas are so small. They have Granite City up that way and so forth and so forth, Pontoon Beach and all that stuff. But the point is, checks been cashed. They know all these years these other people, such as I, never got the money that supposedly had rightfully belonged to us. I don't know exactly who died either. Some individuals went down to the post office in East St. Louis, Illinois. Come to find out, we knew the man the post office was in on it, or particularly neighbors or somebody that had lived around me. Um, was stealing things that had to be signed for, pick up such and such item. Then when I get there, the people at the post office giving me a look saying there's nothing there for me, but all the time I got the thing saying it's something that's supposed to been there for me to pick up. You know. And then we had other individuals were claiming they sent certain things out in the mail. Then when I open it up, because they done told their jobs and certain things, these are people who work locally within the area, particularly closer. They worked in Belleville and East St. Louis facilities and so forth, saying they sent me certain things in the mail, certified. Certified is when you get the signature. And I get the notification. I will get I get the letter in that situation, but the contents are not what they said they sent in there. So me being me, and for anybody else, when you go pick up your certified mail, open it up right there in the facility. Open it up when you pick it up from the post office. Okay? If you get something in the mail saying certified, you got your sticker or whatever, the sheet, pick it up, open up in the post office. That's how I called a lot of people up too. Cause see, one time somebody was in trouble with social services. At that time, my son Denarius was pronounced deceased. My other daughter I had was pronounced deceased. I had in the 80s, but I still had two other children I was looking for too. I received something in the mail telling me that somebody else had my other two kids that was deceased, and a social worker or somebody came out, but all the time, the girl wasn't even a social worker. She said her mother was or something. I'm like, well, how did you know I even was getting this in the mail? And then when it came upon the kids, she had the kids with her, and there was no way possible those kids could have been mine. Because I'm like, well, I don't know. And the kids didn't look like them. You know how some people be like, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't look like the people they was with either. And then the girl come up in the car with somebody else, with the lady, said she was a social worker. We was right at the post office downtown East St. Louis. Over there by Old St. Mary's Kennesaw Regional Hospital. We're all right there. I said, well, hold up. Let me call for additional assistance in this, that, and the other, because we finna get this straightened out, because Shamanda Clark had pulled up. And then they got to say Shamanda Clark had cashed some checks that belonged to me and all this type stuff. And they said it had something to do with Dominic Combs, the one they called Duck. Now, he dated numerous women. Everybody in East St. Louis know all the women that he dated. People, I need your assistance, because those individuals supposed to cash checks too. Y'all know Darcy. Y'all know the one they called Kim. She called herself Kim Combs or Kim's partner. Y'all know who Darcy is. And y'all know who the other woman is. They said the one they called Sheila Hill supposed to be her sister. Y'all know Sheila Hill used to live on Bond Avenue across the street from the old Lincoln High School. She had that girl and that boy and the light skinned kids. And then they moved over there by Dave, by Al Ayers now. Y'all know Al Ayers. Them that lived over there by Veronica Street over there where towards where Kemp and KK them used to live at. And Big Manfred them. And Pano, all them. You know, everybody used to be over that way too. And everybody used to be out that way. And she dated, Sheila supposed to dated a man. But see, when they was lying, I guess they didn't realize that Sheila had a sister. Her sister they resembled each other, but she was way a lot bigger than her. And she lived there too. Both of them was there. And and the kids. Because you remember she dated that guy that didn't have no legs, used to be running around on a skateboard all the time. Al Ayers, know who I'm talking about. And everybody used to be over that way. You know, Will used to be over there, what they call Will Chapman. Jay lived in a purple house. Greg Jones used to be over that way. And numerous other people. And they had a sister that worked at the Department of Human Services. So, you know, she knew the area well. And there was a church on the corner right there called Mount Carmel. I think that was the name of, because I think they had changed it twice. Um, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Dave, Al Ayers, Dad even took pictures of all of us, and I kept asking Al, it's just off the subject, because I looked nice on that picture, you know. And I'm like, I want my picture of me standing by the tree, you know. But anyway, because they all of us took some pictures in a park that sat right across the street. We was out there just sitting around. He took two pictures of me. We were just sitting around. Ain't nobody really had no clothes on, and I had a big old T-shirt on and some tennis shoes. We were just sitting around. You know how you grab your T-shirt if it's kind of big and you put a knot in the back of it. And I took a picture, whatever, and everybody fixed up what they had on or whatever. Because his dad just popped up and wanted pictures of all of us. Everybody was just out there that day, and it was Polaroids. And his daddy had worked at the sheriff's department in St. Clair County, and that was just pretty much it. But like I said, people cashing people checks and putting checks in people names and all this type stuff when other people were entitled to all of it, you know. Um, and that's what happened. You know, that's what happened. And they know these individuals, and some people were saying other people was dead, and those people was in jail up under names that weren't theirs, which they had nothing to do with, and people stealing other people's stuff and claiming other people's families and intentionally committing fraud. Okay. Now I'm gonna end this with this note. Uh, we have a lot of suspects, people who claim that certain kids was theirs intentionally when they knew what they were doing were wrong. They intentions was to they cause havoc on the community. These Some of these individuals are in the entertainment industry and they will be held accordingly to their crimes because they did not stop and even put their own children at harm and gave directions for people to cause problems for their children. Intentionally did these things in hopes and stood there and watched things happen to their own children on purpose because they never gave a damn about their babies ever since they had them and was trying to place fault on somebody, just making up situations and putting other people there and people going along with it because, you know, they didn't care because it wasn't their child, and you will be held accordingly and hope, oh, let God punish you accordingly to your crimes. How dare you try to take an innocent life, somebody that didn't even know they was going to be born, and God put them on this earth for a reason, and you misused them and abused them and sent them out there in the world of the unknown, and thank God they met people like me that could do the best they can, the best I could for their survival and their very being. And woe is you, call yourself being in law enforcement and turn the other cheek when an innocent cried for help, whether it was tears of pain Because some people, pain is different ways. Some people, never knew how to explain their emotions. So go ahead and cry now. Go ahead and cry. Because I know they're hurting. How would you feel that somebody only wanted you born because they were just trying to find a way to get some money? Your very being of their existence, of your able to cash your insurance check, was a victim of that. And it wasn't my mom them or my dad that did it. It was other people. How dare you pry and prey on ill children? And they was intentionally stealing my medication and poisoning me because they knew what was wrong with me. Motown Records. And those other individuals y'all met in East St. Louis that was at my stores that called themselves being employed by me, not my children. I'm not talking about my children because they had no knowledge of everything that was really going on because they went through some things too. May shame be afflicted upon you all, and may you be held according to your crimes. Now, I don't seek revenge like you all think I seek revenge, but I do. And I make sure that every level of the courts know what you did. So that way they can do their proper research. So with that being said, it's the same way it goes for everybody else. It's the same. It's the same. I'll talk to you all later. Until the next video, enjoy your days. Goodbye.